warm summer's evening, standing on the mound. The ballpark's full of cheering crowd. Home team's back in town with all pitches.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Painting Corners Baseball Podcast. Co-host Johnny C, joined by Aidan Smith. The usual, the crew is back in the studio. From the Bruce Bolt Classic in Houston, what a time it was. Starling Marte, Sterling Silver still in old age. Speaking of age, Max Scherzer gets a deal. And Chris Sale, is he for rent or the Braves just making their move? There's a lot to get into tonight. I'm excited about it. It's been a fun hot stove because, you kind of think to yourself, there's no games to cover. Besides, NCAA ball right now and some spring training stats that are inflated. Or there's been a lot going on in the hot stove for us to talk about. What are you feeling about it this week, Aiden?
Yeah, there are some GM front office adjacent things to talk about, and there's also some spring training hype going on. Some people are turning heads. Conor Griffin is turning heads, and Eloy Jimenez might have his swing back, So you always like to see that, right? Where a guy comes back and all of a sudden he's ripping the ball down the line again. So, the Jays brought in Max Scherzer for another year. That's an incentive-based deal. And then, you have the WBC. So there's plenty to cover here. Pick your delight, Johnny. Do you want to start with...
I will. I got the Dominican delight right at the tip of my tongue here. So I like to cut to the chase, as we talked about, in the Aiden Robbins article. Shout out Aiden. Hopefully future friend of the pod, number 43. Dope number. Great batting stance. Loved seeing him play at Dyken Park this weekend. But yeah, I just want to get into it. Is 399 games got missed by Eloy Jimenez from 2021 to 2025. That's 400 games over 4 years because of injuries. So you've never really had a shot to shine. And when you did play, he was great. So in the COVID-shortened 2020 season, Eloy hit 296 with an 891 OPS. 14 bombs in 51 games. That's fantastic. That's college numbers. That's like a first-round draft pick, speaking of our good friend from Texas. And now Eloy's coming back, and it's kind of a funny story the way in which it unfolds. Up at the Rogers Center, you've got this Beau Bichette, the big bat, has been shipped in the Mets. Anthony Santander, ex-Oriole, big bat, right field, left field. Where's he playing? We don't know. Guess what? He gets the free agent bag a little bit to get out of Baltimore, heads up north across the border, gets injured, misses out on the playoffs for most of it, I think all of it, and is going to be injured to start the year. So the Jays are down, obvious, fan favorite, future Hall of Famer Joey Loperfido. And Eloy Jimenez is supposed to plug the hole of the Beau Bichette and Santander misses. Not supposed to, but hopefully. And here he comes. He's healthy and he's crushing the ball in spring training. It's always weird to read too much into these things in spring training stats, but when a guy has this track record of looks like a ball player, is a natural hitter, and has just been nipped by injuries, it's hard not to get excited.
Yeah, to your point, in 2020, the COVID-shortened season, which is the one season that he was healthy after his rookie year.
Yeah.
138 WRC plus, and then in 2022, 143 WRC plus. Career 112, 269 hitter, 462 slug. The guy can hit. This guy hits, and he's only 29 years old.
Wow, sounds like, who's another good hitter that's oft injured that just, he's a hitter and you just want him to be healthy one time?
Nomar Garciaparra.
Exactly. And also Yordan Alvarez. But
Yordan, yeah, right.
Both work. Eloy is one of those names that really sticks out to you. Eloy Jimenez. And I feel like in 15 years from now, we'll be playing some game. When you say a name like Edwin Encarnacion, it really stands out. And you're like, I remember him. He played for the Reds when they had the sleeveless jerseys.
The parrot.
Eloy's like that. He's got that name.
Yeah, Encarnacion was an OG. Eloy definitely comps better with Yordan because of the lack of defensive value and just like what the bat brings. I mean, Yordan's way
Way
better
to
than
bring us
Eloy.
back home. I love that about you.
Yeah, I mean, I weave, but I land the plane.
No, you don't. You're great. You're a paratrooper. You're a paratrooper jumping out of the plane, taking new ground. Keep going. Keep cooking.
And so, I don't know if the Garcia Parra is really the comp. So I do like the Rodon comp there. And, when you think about the AL West, really, Yordan is an X factor for, Houston's foray back into that crown, right?
Careful.
Yep. Well, the Texas Rangers, were pretty sexy on that playoff run, but I think we all know that, they grabbed that division crown last weekend of the year, got hot, they had Eovaldi and Jordan Montgomery who just like put the team on their back. But that was lightning in a bottle a little bit, right? So
Agreed.
yeah, they're good enough to keep it interesting. The bullpen got a lot better last year. But, Corey Seager's getting older. They traded Simeon. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Will Evan Carter be good again? He bursted onto the scene and then, has been so-so. Wyatt Langford's really good. But
Yes.
the Oakland A's have that offensive ceiling, no pitching. So I don't know. It could be an interesting division where pretty much everyone could be in play, maybe with the exception of the Angels. But
one abstraction level outside of Eloy specifically, the Blue Jays just continue to have an incredible offseason, capped off with Scherzer coming back. So you get, I think, what is it, 1 year? Yeah, 1 year contract, Max Scherzer. So guaranteed $3 million, Boris Corp representative, can earn up to $10 million in incentives. So he earns his first bonus at 65 innings. We thinking Scherzer is going to get 65. I think he's going to get 65. Another $1 million bonus for every 10th inning, up through 155 frames overall. That's just MLB rumors, and it is interesting to see the incentive ladder and it ratio to his age. It's like, okay, he's old.
So some quick math here. So if he goes up to 155, he's getting 13 mil.
Looks like it.
Right? Yeah.
That was some quick math, dude.
Well,
what is it, like y equals MX+B, or what's that little song? Negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared.
I really wish that I was like Sheldon and there were just like, letters and numbers moving around my head, but I wish.
Yeah, we all do. I used to do this thing as a kid where I'd think people were watching me read books, and I pretended I was Good Will Hunting, like I had a photographic memory, and I would like maniacally stare at the page and try to turn them quickly. It was, some people are normal and play baseball outside, and
but Johnny, can you imagine how nice an eidetic memory would be when you go to the Bruce Bolt Classic and you remember every single player's name, all their stats, what their favorite breakfasts and lunch are, and you can know everything about these guys.
Dude, Judd Udermark was awesome. Okay, shout out Ole Miss.
That's not a name you forget.
It's not a name you forget. No. Amazing Grace. It's actually Trace Mazin, I think was how the announcer pronounced it. Trace Mazin and Dean Mijos.
Ooh.
For Coastal. 1-2 punch.
Ooh.
Watch those guys. They, Cameron Fluky, their big arm. He's like a 6 foot 17-inch behemoth.
Is he a lefty? Is Fluky a lefty?
I don't recall. Why? What you got excited about that? You like lefties?
Come on. I mean, we love weird lefties, right?
Weirdly named lefties?
It fits the avatar. Well, it's all part of the ethos, right? So weird name, weird guy. He's left-handed. It's a whole archetype.
Okay. I love that. So he's going to be injured this year. Coastal's hurting. Suddenly we're just pivoting to NCAA talk. That's awesome. Go us. We cover it all. But
although I do want to pivot here, though. You know what name I love right now in spring training? Warming Bernabel.
What name?
Warming Bernabel.
For whom does Bernabel play?
So Warming is a first baseman for the Washington Nationals after the Colorado Rockies cut bait on him, you know. I mean, it's fair, right? I mean, you can't have a 301 WOBA at Coors Field. That's not going to work.
Does the alarm still go off if you burn the bell? I guess they got the wake-up call. Nevertheless, in Colorado, mile high, they had to send him south. Well, I'm thinking about what is really interesting about spring training is it's so weird because a guy like Jose Altuve can bat 0 and is going to make the team, and then you can have a guy have like a 1 dot and he's just not even going to crack the major league roster in the conversation. And then there's these people that come through and surprise you. And it's like, what did they do differently? Did they hit really well and the manager was lenient and keeping an open mind this year? Or was it something about their work ethic, the way they carried themselves? Is it these intangibles of baseball being a vibes game?
So,
yeah.
I can cover that a little bit just based
Please.
on what I've seen over the years. I think a lot of it is situational. So a guy has to be in a situation where he can move the needle, where if he shows that locker room is a plus tool, the makeup is a plus tool, and, he rakes, right? I mean, if a guy hits, 340 in spring and, his at-bats are 8-9 pitches, he has,
Right.
The starter gets bumped after he works that double-digit AB.
Right.
Things like that, paying attention, base running, not getting picked off, in the middle of a Arizona spring training game in the 5th inning,
Whoa,
getting
personal.
lazy, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, and so, those are the things that matter, but you have to be in a situation where you can earn the job. So,
Yeah.
meaning, if you're a guy that can play maybe third base or first base, and you're limited to those two positions, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's say Jose Ramirez is your third baseman, okay? And
No shot,
you're the other
blocked.
guy.
That's right.
Right? So you're not going to play third for Cleveland unless Jose is injured. So, I mean, you could hit 800. It wouldn't matter.
That's
you're
right.
You're still not winning that job. So there's a lot of situational, variance there. But yeah, guys can certainly play it up with the makeup. They can play it up by taking it seriously and showing instincts. But some of it also is, wow, look at the RPM on that. I didn't know we had that slider in the minor leagues. It could
Totally.
also be that too. So
That was such a good overview. Thank you. It really gets out of this like hand wavy baseball is a vibes game. Some people are just going to make the team thing. That really
Right.
tracks. And it's not even that those are intangibles. Those are clearly tangibles because we can talk about them. And that is with the makeup of a baseball player. It is not, can you hit a middle fastball in isolation? How far? It is, can you do so under other dials of pressure? And Conor Griffin. Okay, let's get to it. Love the name. When you read it and you see his smile, you see his stature, his cut out of marble in a Pirates uniform, Jackson, Mississippi. Born in 2006. Where were you in 2006? I was not a baby in swaddling clothes. That's for sure. I think I was rooting for the Red Sox World Series a year later.
I think in 2006 I was watching the 81 and 81 St. Louis Cardinals win the World Series. I think that's where I was.
And we'll get to Oli Marmol later, but Baseball America and Major League Baseball, they got this guy ranked number one as a prospect. And so
Yeah.
how often do you see a 222-pound, 6'3" shortstop and center fielder? I mean, what is this, Mookie Betts, the repeat sequel? Great memorable name. Talk about a vibes game. There's that. What do you think about Conor Griffin? What's your scouting report, sir?
Yeah, so first I want to start, and this is where I thought you were going with this initially, because I recently read it. But Bryce Harper made a comment about Connor, saying that kid's a big leaguer, just on vibes and makeup.
Wow.
Right. So to the point that we were just referencing on makeup, standing out. Conor Griffin doesn't necessarily need to have that plus tool because literally everything he does is a plus tool, but it certainly doesn't hurt. And when you have a Hall of Famer like Bryce Harper, MVP Bryce Harper, despite what Dombrowski might say,
Shots fired.
pointing out that Konnor has that it factor, that does mean something. But he's also got 70 grade power, 70 grade speed, 70 grade arm, 60 grade glove, 60 grade hit tool. So, this kid is sick. He's sick. I mean, when he hit it out on Ranger Suarez in spring training and he ended up hitting 2 in the game, I was like, look at this kid. That's a kid that you want to sit with at lunch in your high school cafeteria.
Oh, man. When you started saying 70 more than once, I was locked in.
Yeah. I
had to look this up.
Do you not want to eat your meatloaf with Conor Griffin at lunch break?
Wow, that reminds me of Todd Callis's home run calls for Chas McCormick. No, it was Jeff Blum. And every time Chaz would hit a bomb, he goes, "Mom, more meatloaf." Oh, man. So spring training 2026, you got 14 at-bats to prove yourself. What do you do with them? Do you have a 857 slug, 3 homers, and 6 RBIs? If you do, you and Conor Griffin are sitting at the same table eating meatloaf, Aiden.
Yeah, it's true. And I think is he going to be potentially the first teenager to make the opening day roster since Harper?
I think since Cam Smith. Yeah.
Cam Smith was a teenager?
I'm just having fun with it right now. I'm still giddy from getting to go to Daikin and sit in the press box.
Well, I know you're a big Cam guy too, but I don't know if we can give him credit for being 19 when he made the roster, right? That sounds...
No, I'm joking. He's 22.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he went to FSU. I was like, wait a second. How young was this kid when he was at Florida State?
Fun fact, he is a perfect example, a couple layers deeper about the blocking problem you were talking about.
Yep.
Incidentally, at third base also, where Matt Shaw, the prospect, was blocking him inside the farm system. So, I mean, imagine being buried that deep. So, regardless, Conor Griffin, he's exciting. And, okay, when you say 70 that many times in a scouting report, and for the casual listener of baseball, numbers are arbitrary, right? Until we weight them and scale them, and you say, oh, Babe Ruth is a this, and this guy's a that. Right, we need relativity. 70 means you're elite. 60 means you are a really good major leaguer. 50, so starting with that, when you hear a 70, you should pay attention. Conor Griffin just looks like a ball player. Bryce is hyped. I'm hyped. Bro's playing for the Pirates. They've not been good for a long time. So obviously he's representative of a very high draft pick. Young lad, shortstop, center fielder. I think that there's something here where I really wait. I wait and see patiently. When are you going to get a guy that you just know is a stud and becomes one? Rather than this guy that is projected to be something, strikes out a lot, works on some things, they, tweak some knobs in the hit tool lab, and then 3 years later they emerge.
So there's a few things. So one, when you see a guy continue to go up the levels and fill out, and he can stay at a premium position, that's a tell. So,
dude, you are great. You're great at this. Do you do this for a living?
I wish. I sell camera systems when I could be selling scouting reports.
You sold me on just sitting here and listening to you give me tells. This is great. You seriously should be a scout. Keep going.
If they flash the arm at short, that means that they don't have to move to second base. If they flash the range, they don't have to move to third base. If they could show that they can do both, there's a really good shot of them sticking at short. Another sign is staying healthy, obviously, particularly for pitching. And then the third one, big one, is being able to hit high velocity. And then the fourth is being able to hit nasty off speed and survive in counts that you're behind on. So,
wow,
I've never actually truly thought through this entirely, but I'm just kind of riffing. But
Is
Yeah,
this like
I
the
mean,
seven pillars of wisdom for you and Lawrence of Arabia? You guys co-wrote it, but just the baseball version?
yeah, I guess so. So, yeah, I mean, those are some of the big ones, and really what I mean, and Connor's shown most of those, if not all of those. So, if you have an 0-2 count where slider, right? Can you get your way out of that AB, right? And
Hmm.
even if you don't end up, getting on base, getting a hit, getting to the point where you can even walk
Right.
when you play your way back into a count, if you can get a 6 to 8 pitch at bat out of that when you started out in a hole on two sliders, that shows something, right? When the
That's so
chase
spiritual.
rates, yeah. So when you go from single A to triple A, when they see that chase rate spike or K rate spikes, that's not a good sign. Yeah, there are a lot of things. You can also actually be too patient where scouts are worried because if you're getting all of your value out of walks in the minor leagues, that can be a little bit of a concern because major league pitching, they're going to throw more strikes and the stuff is better. So that
Hmm.
was actually a red flag. Well, I guess you could say orange flag that people had on Harry Ford was, hey, yeah, he's got that 400 OBP, but that's a lot of walks.
You
And
can have any
so,
flag that you want, so long as that it's orange. It's a Henry Ford joke, but shout out Great Britain in the World Baseball Classic too.
shout out Great Britain. Yeah, we have Captain Jazz. We got 38-year-old Vance Worley.
Okay, you
And
lost me there.
Vance had his moment in the big leagues years ago, and he's still around, I guess.
Is Jazz actually like British?
No, so the Bahamas was a
Oh,
UK
yeah, yeah.
colony. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. We're good. We're good.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
took me a second.
Yeah, the rules are a little wonky on who's eligible and who's not. I mean, I think it's a little weird, but hey, at least Great Britain will have an all-star on the team. So let's get to Ollie actually, because I know that you wanted to talk about Ollie and his new extension with
Of
St.
course, that's what I
Louis.
woke up today to do. Ollie, income free.
Yeah, that's how Johnny gets out of bed, thinking about Oli Marmol's contract extension.
And the income is not free, but Ollie is coming back
Yeah.
to St. Louis for a pretty penny, and it's you like to see it, or something. So you have this one good season in, you know, 21. Goldie gets the MVIP pre-Shohei switching leagues. You also got like a good Nolan Arenado. Love me Nolan Arenado, but
And
I
then
just
blew it
mean
up.
young, just a young Nolan Arenado. Young Nolan Arenado. They were great. Best corner infield ever. Maybe.
No,
And you
probably
don't win a
not.
game in the playoffs to the Phillies, and ever since it's been like we're just rebuilding, but losing at the same time. I think the year after that was actually the most alarming because they just fell flat. And yeah, I don't know. We've talked about this before on the pod. What Heim Bloom is doing there, it feels like it's taking it apart and putting it back together again. I just don't want Marmol to become a scapegoat for something that's not really. It's a systemic problem, as we've covered, drafting outfielders and shipping them away before they've materialized. So yeah, I like Marmol. I like him vibing with the team. Are we gonna get a Yachty or Molina manager soon?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I,
because
I
that's
think I think
that's
if
what
he
it's gonna
want,
be.
I think if he wants to do it, he'll be able to do it.
And I worry that the vibes are. It's an impossible problem where the vibes aren't going away from Marmol. That he knows that Molina is the rightful heir. He's like a good king who's just trying to fill in and help out the kingdom. And he's a good king, but he knows he's not the king of Gondor. So, like, is he gonna have that scene with like the Hobbit singing, and he's like chewing the tomato and splattering it everywhere with his greasy hair, and we're getting into some Lord of the Rings tonight, unintended.
Yep.
I don't want Marmol to become that illegitimate, disgruntled heir with the greasy care.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And, ultimately, I'm not sure that Oli is worthy of being a king of Gondor, but
Brother. Molina is.
yeah, Yachty, I could see. I mean, you don't know if someone's going to be a good, Albert Pujols is trying to jump in and manage. So, and Yachty and him are friends. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, from St. Louis's perspective, I see why they extended Oli because this is not a good job right now.
That's right. Yeah.
This is not a good job. If you post this job on LinkedIn, Johnny, who's applying? Who's quick applying to the St. Louis Cardinals skipper job?
That would be a perfect segue for sponsorship plug, but we're not doing that. We are.
I just keep doing the bit.
We are locked out, not LinkedIn.
I keep finding my way there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marmol, you get what I'm saying? Like 78 wins, right? And they're blowing the team up.
It's tough.
You get rid of Brendan Donovan. I mean,
bro, so sad.
You get rid of Sonny Gray. You get rid of Arenado. You get rid of Contreras. I mean, your
Lance Lynn, fan favorite. No, joking.
Your best player is probably Lars Nootbaar.
Bro.
Mason Wynn. Yeah, I'd say Mason Wynn. But still, right? A 3.5 WAR guy, good year, but you're not going to make the playoffs if your best player is 3.5 win player.
Dude.
And they know they're not going to make the playoffs. And you know what's crazy about this is, yeah, Mason's their best player on offense. It's not even the offense. That's the real problem. The problem is they don't have any pitching. Their ace is Matthew Liberatore. Dustin May is the number 2.
Wow. They really are the island of misfit pitchers.
He couldn't even crack the 6-man that the Dodgers had for a while there.
That's
right?
not fair. That's not nice. That's not fair. Because they're getting like the 6-man is just this always.
Yeah,
it's like true. No face and Spirited Away, just like Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I'm hungry. Feed me, Kyle Tucker. I didn't know we were going there today.
Dustin May did also have a 6.29 xERA with the Red Sox in 6 games. So
okay, let's not keep bumming people out so hard, but we'll say this. Marmol's a nice guy playing through a tough stretch. Hopefully Heimblum helps out the Birds and brings them back to former glory. Speaking of the King of Gondor. Nice arc there. However, on our way to wrapping this up, I do want to talk about one of the funniest trades of all time. Vaughn Grissom for Chris Sale. And you think what you're getting is a guy with a bat, and you think what you're giving away is a guy with a blown out elbow. And instead, you're giving away over, 2 years with the Braves? 2.46 ERA, 2.38 FIP, and a strikeout rate of 32%.
They also just extended him, and he won a Cy. It's been rough. No way around.
That is one of the funniest mismatched trades that I don't think anyone's seen coming.
So Vaughn hit 190 and didn't hit one homer in 31 games. Before they cut bait on him. Finally, he also didn't play at all last year, actually. So that was 24, the stats that I just referenced. This guy was a real prospect, and now he's 25 years old, trying to play for a job in spring training in Anaheim. So, this roster is not great, so there's a decent chance that he makes this team. Right now, Fangraphs actually has him projected to make the team, which is interesting. They have Vaughn Grissom and Adam Frazier, 2 infield spots. So I would think you would want some power on the bench if you're the Angels. I don't know if you want both of those guys on the same roster, but I guess Frazier could play the outfield too. So, but
I really just think that Sale is it's one of the weirder like physics deliveries to watch for me.
Which is why he's hurt all the time.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you watch him pitch and you go, ooh, you're going to hurt yourself. Like, you can feel, I don't know, if shout out fellow empaths out there on the airwaves.
Ooh.
I just feel like I can hear these cartoonish little, like, anime sidekick, plightful yelping sounds of his minor ligaments in his elbow every time he throws the baseball, going like, Yamcha, no! Like that. I hear that. I hear voices sometimes. And I'm worried about the elbow, but like, bro goes to the Braves and it's not a problem, and he's an elite pitcher who wins a Cy Young award. Like, what's going on?
Is that a coincidence though, or is that the Braves training staff and the pitching development? Right.
Okay. So like, I guess what I need to do is stop looking at the footage in my head of him with the Sox, watch more closely his footage with the Braves, and see if I still hear the yelping anime ligament sounds in my head. Because maybe his elbow path is smoother. You're right.
I will say though, I mean, Schwellenbach, Tommy, Strider's had health problems. So I mean, it's not like Atlanta's pitching has avoided injury, right? Like there's been injuries. Ronaldo Lopez was out all last year too. So they have had their injuries, but Chris Sale has stayed miraculously healthy. I mean, I've never seen him this healthy in the last, 10 years. I mean, since like 2016, 2017, when he was awesome for the Red Sox that first year. But ever since they won the chip in 18, I feel like his health has been in decline. So, he's
and that's why we eat Chris Sale Macho Man lifting gummies. Now for the ad read. Painting Corners Baseball brings you. That would be great though. Chris Sale would have the most street cred to be an Instagram influencer for some like a vitamin protein shake routine.
Yeah, he'd be like, I want a Cy Young because I take my vitamins.
Dude, Chris Sale figured it out. There is one other thing I wanted to. I guess there's two things I wanted to hit on.
Two things. Let's not get crazy.
Yeah. Let's get one out of the way real quick. ABS, for or against?
Ooh, I don't know if I can answer it like that. I find it. I understand why people want it. I find it to be pretty annoying.
Interesting. And I get the whole like. It feels very Savannah Bananas.
Yep. I do find it to be annoying. I also think a lot of times players are challenging things because they don't want the results on their sheet when like it's not really something worth challenging. You have that problem too. If a pitch is like that borderline, it's not really worth challenging from the strategic standpoint for the team. But if it's you and it's your at bat and you're going to get K'd, then it's worth challenging for you. So then you run into that, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, but we'll see. What about you?
Can you go over the rule with me? Is it manager? The manager has to give an approval, like we want to throw our challenge flag now.
No,
or is it
the players are doing it. Yeah, and you get two, and if you're right, then you get you just get to put it in your back pocket, right?
Right.
But yeah, you get two shots where you can be wrong, I guess. So.
That's tough, though. If you got like a hubris guy with a bad eye and he's just getting miffed when he whiffed, I guess he'd take it looking. But I don't know, man. I think we'll see. That's not a good answer for our fans. I wish I had something more spicy. I'm not going to do the old man yells at cloud, kids in my day, thing. But I will say for the counter argument, Angel Hernandez is a real thing, and it is nice sometimes when I'm watching a game and a pitcher's cooking to have the vindication, because there have been times when the rhythm of the game is going, the pitcher's on it, and everything's firing, and then for this weird reason, there's a totally blown call. It's as if like a little gremlin has entered the head of the ump, and they have a mission from God to disturb the vibes of the pitcher who's cruising, and that bothers me. Because it's a hard enough game as it is. And you just got to call balls and strikes. It is hard. It's simple, but it's not easy. And I do like the chance for vindication for a pitcher if they can challenge. Can the pitcher give it back?
Yeah. As long as you're right.
What's the hand motion for the pitcher challenging? Is it like a Trevor Bauer sword celebration, or?
I feel like are they still doing this? I feel like the catchers do it more than the pitcher. I don't think
Okay, because
pitchers
that would be
challenge
so goofy if the pitcher like does this crazy Bob Gibson menacing windup and they just go.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing? Last thing, Dombrowski, not elite, T-shirt, Harper. You are painted into a corner. Okay, I'm going to stop bearing the lead here. Here's my take. Harper has to do something. You are forced to make a move. It's like you have this, it's like you lack the first move advantage in chess. Dombrowski said something. Sort of like being in film, like the prison cell block thing. Like if somebody does something to you, you have to hit back to not become a victim.
Gotcha.
And I want to live in that gracious interpretation path rather than going down the one of, oh, Harper's hubris, this is dumb, why'd you make a T-shirt? You're in your sad story, get out of it, bro, come on. And that's where I want to live, is this gracious, like he had to say something, so I respect it. Now let's be done and prove him wrong. What do you think, Aiden?
Yeah, I think Harper's got to put up a big year. I see that Dombrowski is trying to motivate him, but I don't know if that were me and I had the resume that Harper had, it would probably just make me more likely to want to play my deal out and get out, or even ask for a trade at some point if it doesn't resolve itself. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand doing that with like a 23-year-old kid, but doing it to a guy like Harper with his stature, I just don't think it plays well. You know?
Yeah, it's a bad look for Dombrowski. He's the biggest loser here.
It
is. This thing, you have to think like, where will this end though? Because if Harper has a really good year, are we going to be doing not elite T-shirts? Because now your team's vibes have been completely smashed apart. Castellanos is gone also, and he was like the high T leader of the team.
You're right.
He was.
Right.
And so, like, I really feel, we keep using this word tonight, here we are, whatever. It's late, I don't know. The vibes are gone from Philly for me. And I
will say the high T backfired when he got benched and cracked a beer open in the dugout. That wasn't great.
I don't remember that. What happened? What?
Yeah, Castellanos, he opened a beer in the dugout and started, sipping a beer when he got benched by Rob Thompson. So
that is funny. That is really funny to me.
Yeah, there were definitely some issues with him. I mean, he's also like arguably the worst defensive outfielder in the major leagues.
Yeah, you say that, made a sliding amazing catch on Jeremy Pena in the bottom of the ninth inning in Game 1 of the 2022 World Series. You know what? It was amazing.
World Series? Okay. I thought you were going to say...
Thank you. Gun Jumper McGee. That's going to do it for us, folks, on another edition of the Painting Corners Baseball Podcast. Please be sure to hit subscribe to the podcast here on Spotify or Apple Music, wherever you listen to your podcast. And come give us a follow at painting-corners.com. John and Aiden signing off.
For the loyal fan from spring into fall. Aiden's talking facts, John's postulating them all. Through training camp, the dog days, seasons ebbs and flows. Losing streaks and winning ones, they're talking about it all.